All right, we're going to look at a Kawasaki 340, a two-cylinder. This is from a Arctic Cat 1972 Puma, I believe. Anyways, I wanted to talk about a couple things, timing and my stand, and how to do that. What I start with is a climber. If you don't have one of these and you're going to rebuild an engine, I would highly recommend that you get one. Lots of good information in here. So I was able to condense it down a little bit for the engine I have here. It's the T1A 340 S1B. Point gap tells you there. Timing 0.015 at retard. Spark plug B9 ES and 72 Arctic Cat Puma. Are these parts interchangeable? There's a lot of these T1As, T1Bs, and Cs. I have an example here to show you. I have a head from this one right here that says stamped 340. It was pretty pitted. I've been running with this, and there's some carbon buildup on there, but it's worked. And I thought I'd take another 340 that I had, a little bit newer style. It's a 340 2B. You can see there's quite a difference there with the combustion chamber on the top of the head there. So they're not interchangeable. The same thing goes with ignition. There's a lot of things we can look at that don't interchange. I believe the coils. There's right here. And the ignition system, the flywheel, stators are not interchangeable. You need to stick with one system or the other. So I'm going to show you how I get it set up. First of all, I've got a cheap dial indicator set up on my engine stand here. I used an old blade to hold it down. It's magnetic. The idea is that I can turn the PTO shaft to get this timed and find my top dead center. And right about at the 0, you can see where it changes directions. That's my top dead center. Now, in order to find top dead center, I had to take the heads off. I like timing it this way. It's just a lot more precise. Do you want to do this every time? Probably not, but for me, this thing wasn't running right. I believe I had bad condensers, so I did took it out and just got it on the table and was checking everything. And my timing, as the book says, 0.015. When I checked my timing, it was like right at top dead center, and then it was moving. So it might have explained why it wasn't running very good, but I just like to go over the system that I have for setting this up. Timing. The coils here have 2 wires. You're going to want to find the one that coincides with the cylinder that you're trying to time. I've got a light going to a battery and then a ground right to the motor right there. So it's real simple. I mean, the idea is that I'm going to turn this see the light change there? I don't need a buzzer or anything. I'm just visually looking at when this light changes. Now, if I can get both things going on here, it's kind of tricky, but yeah, it's a little hard to read right there. But at 0.015, if I stop right about there, you can see that on my note cards, on my dial gauge, it's 0.001 inch for each one of those marks, and our points open at 0.015 before top dead center. So when I look at this, note that I'm just counting off the red. There's 10, there's 20, and I'm right in the middle at 0.015 before top dead center. I know I've had trouble with this before myself trying to get it timed. You might find that if you have this light and if your timing's way off, you just keep turning it and seeing where that change is, or a buzzer if you have that. But if you're way off, then you're going to have to reset your point gaps and fiddle with it. I've spent a lot of time trying to get initially set up if you take the stator off or swap stators. The idea here is that you're going to have to use this dial indicator to find where the light changes, and you're going to have to play around with it a little bit. Start with your PTO clutch side. Once that side's timed, you go to your other set of points, And right down here, when we're looking in there, you'll have, to set that set of point gaps in there, you're going to have to use your feeler gauge to get that in there, set it at 0.014 on my feeler gauge and set that, and then do the same system. It's a little bit more difficult on the mag side. You're going to have to get this dial indicator moved over to this one, and you do the same sequence to find that it's set at 0.015 before top dead center. If you're not close, then you might have to, you can't move the stator anymore. You really have to just go by your feeler gauge, maybe go to a 0.013 or try going to a 0.015 if the tolerances are there. That'll get you in the ballpark. And I got that on this, so I'm good to go. But really easy setup. This mag right here, I could pull it off and on right now, but I got to put it on in order to check the timing. You can see here, if I just grab one of the black wires that comes out of the coils, I'll take this off and I'll swap it over to the other black lead on my connector here, and that'll give me my timing. Other things about this, I would say, is that if you're going to have one of these Kawasaki's on the table and you're going to be looking at it, and you're going to try to time it with just a feeler gauge and using the T and F in here and the eyesight on there, I would say that that's not easy. And a lot of people say that these Kawasaki's like to be the timing to be real accurate. So just something I've done with practice. You'll get better at it. It's not a perfect setup, but I think it does help make them run good. And every once in a while, I think people are kind of confused about how to time it. Hopefully this will help you out. If not, keep trying. Add a comment there. I appreciate it. And any comments you have, questions, I'm not a professional at this, but this has helped me. And hey, take it easy.